Single-Member LLC. The biggest mistakes you must avoid. What if I told you that your single-member LLC might not actually be protecting you? Imagine getting sued, thinking your personal assets are safe, only to find out the court disregards your LLC entirely. Or picture the IRS hitting you with unexpected taxes because of a simple oversight. These aren't just rare horror stories, they happen to thousands of business owners who assume they're following the rules. The biggest mistakes aren't just about paperwork. Some are so common that even experienced entrepreneurs make them. Single-member LLC is supposed to provide legal protection, tax benefits, and flexibility, but only if you set it up and manage it correctly. In this video, we're exposing the biggest mistakes that could cost you money, your business, and even your personal assets. Some of these pitfalls are not what you'd expect, and avoiding them could mean the difference between success and disaster. Stay with me, because what you're about to learn could save you from a world of trouble. Now let's get started. Before we talk about the more complicated mistakes, let's start with something most single-member LLC owners overlook: not having an operating agreement. Since you're the sole owner, you might think, why bother? After all, there's no one else to argue with. But here's the problem. An operating agreement isn't just a formality. It's a critical legal document that defines how your LLC operates and, more importantly, reinforces its separation from you as an individual. Without one, your LLC could be seen as no different from a sole proprietorship in the eyes of a court, stripping away your liability protection. If you ever face a lawsuit, a judge could rule that your LLC is just an alter ego of yourself, making you personally responsible for business debts and legal claims. Even banks and potential investors might hesitate to take your business seriously if you don't have a formal structure in place. And here's something most people don't realize. Some states require an operating agreement, even for a single-member LLC. Without it, you might find yourself bound by default state laws that may not work in your favor. Plus, if you ever bring in a partner, take on funding, or sell your business, not having an operating agreement could cause serious legal and financial headaches. Before we talk about the more hidden dangers of running a single-member LLC, let's address one of the most common yet costly mistakes: mixing personal and business finances. It might seem harmless at first. Maybe you use your personal credit card for a few business expenses or transfer money between accounts when cash flow is tight. But this small habit can have huge consequences if your LLC ever faces legal trouble. One of the biggest reasons people form an LLC is to separate personal assets from business liabilities. But if you don't keep that separation clear, courts can decide that your LLC is just an extension of you, wiping out your liability protection entirely. This is called piercing the corporate veil, and it means creditors or lawsuits could come after your personal savings, home, or other assets. Mixing finances can also create tax problems. If the IRS sees blurred lines between your personal and business funds, you could trigger an audit or lose valuable deductions. That's why opening a dedicated business bank account and keeping detailed financial records isn't just good practice. It's essential for protecting your LLC and everything you've built. Before we talk about the day-to-day mistakes of running an LLC, let's clear up one of the biggest misconceptions: choosing the wrong state to form your LLC. You've probably heard people say that Delaware, Nevada, or Wyoming are the best states for LLCs because of lower taxes, stronger privacy laws, or business-friendly regulations. But here's the catch. For most small business owners, forming an LLC in a different state is a costly mistake. If you don't actually live or do business in Delaware or Nevada, you'll still have to register as a foreign LLC in your home state, meaning you'll be dealing with two sets of paperwork, fees, and compliance requirements. That's double the costs, double the headaches, and no real benefit if your business operates locally. Plus, if your LLC ever faces a lawsuit, courts will still look at where you actually do business, not just where your LLC is registered. For most small business owners, forming an LLC in your home state is the simplest and smartest option. It keeps your compliance straightforward, avoids unnecessary costs, and ensures you don't run into legal surprises down the road. Before we talk about the legal risks of running an LLC, let's address something that can quietly drain your profits: misunderstanding how your single-member LLC is taxed. Many business owners assume that forming an LLC automatically comes with tax benefits, but the truth is your tax treatment depends on how you elect to be taxed, and choosing the wrong option can cost you thousands in unnecessary taxes. By default, the IRS treats a single-member LLC as a disregarded entity, meaning all business profits and losses flow directly to your personal tax return. This keeps things simple, but it also means you'll pay self-employment taxes on everything you earn. For some business owners, electing S-Corp taxation could lower their tax burden by allowing them to pay themselves a reasonable salary and take the rest as distributions, which aren't subject to self-employment. Owners never even consider their options and end up paying more than they should. On the other hand, some rush into an S-Corp election without realizing the added paperwork and payroll requirements, which can be a hassle if you're not making enough profit to justify the switch. Understanding how your LLC is taxed and choosing the right right status based on your income and business goals is critical to keeping more money in your pocket. Before we talk about the long-term risks of running an LLC, let's address a mistake that can silently put your business in jeopardy: neglecting compliance requirements. Forming an LLC isn't a one-and-done process. Each state has its own ongoing requirements, and failing to meet them could result in fines, penalties, or even the involuntary dissolution of your LLC. Many business owners forget to file annual reports, pay franchise taxes, or update their registered agent information. Small things that can have big consequences. If your LLC falls out of good standing, you could lose your legal protections, making it easier for creditors or lawsuits to come after your personal assets. In some cases, you might not even be able to enforce contracts, leaving you vulnerable in business disputes. And here's the part most people don't realize. If your LLC is dissolved due to non-compliance, you might have to go through the entire formation process again, paying new fees and reapplying for business licenses. Staying on top of state-specific compliance isn't just about avoiding penalties. It's about keeping your LLC legally protected and financial risks of running an LLC. Let's address a mistake that can create serious legal and tax headaches: poor record keeping. Many single-member LLC owners assume that because they don't have business partners, they don't need to document decisions or keep detailed financial records. But failing to do so can put your liability protection, tax deductions, and even your business's credibility at risk. If your LLC ever faces a lawsuit, having clear records of business transactions, contracts, and major decisions can help prove that your company is a separate legal entity, not just an extension of you. Without proper documentation, a court could decide to ignore your LLC's protections, making you personally responsible for debts or liabilities. Running a single-member LLC comes with a lot of advantages, but only if you avoid these critical mistakes. Forgetting to create an operating agreement, mixing personal and business finances, choosing the wrong state, misunderstanding taxes, neglecting compliance, keeping poor records, and not seeking professional advice. Each of these can put your business and personal assets at risk. Good news is that now you know what to watch out for. By taking the right steps early on, you can protect your LLC, maximize tax benefits, and keep your business legally secure. Don't wait until it's too late. Fix these mistakes now and set your LLC up for long-term success. If you found this video helpful, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more simple, no-nonsense business and legal insights. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.